Hi everybody, it's Claire and welcome to a tutorial from this, we've picked a page from this beautiful new book by Sassy Colouring. It's called Fanciful Fantasy. It's an adult colouring book. I'm going to be doing a tutorial from one of the lovely pages from this book. I'll quickly move this out of the way before I just tell you a little bit more about the book. So that's the design we're going to be looking at today. The tutorial is going to be on how to create very simple tree bark texture, okay, without layering, okay. So just a quick word about the book. Saskia is from Cork, Northern Ireland, and this I think is her 13th colouring book, so she's quite a prolific artist. And I think she started doing these beautiful designs around about February 2017, and all sorts of designs. So there's stuff for adults, there's colouring books for children, and diaries and journals. And if you want to have a look through, I'm going to do a little kind of really quick flip through of the book, but if you wanted to go away and have a look at Saskia's books, then her books are on Amazon, but you can also buy the PDF versions on Etsy if you wanted to just buy a couple of the designs rather than the whole book. I have to say the book is really good value though, because this is £9 from Amazon UK, and you actually get 40 designs. So what you get is, if I just show you, let's just pick a design. So let me show you. So you can see this lovely little house elf with his tortoise. So what you get is you get 40 individual designs, but you get 2 of each. So there's 80 in essence. So you get one which is a black outline, and one, if you kind of like more subtle background and want to colour over the edges, you get a grey outline version as well. So like I say, they just give you a couple of ideas of the designs. Really cute, really cute. And like I say, it's very good value. It's £9 from Amazon UK, and you get 40 different designs to colour. But if you wanted to have a look on Etsy, then you just search on Saskia Cook, which is SASKJA, and you can buy individual PDFs from Etsy as well. I think Saskia also has a Patreon account where she offers exclusive pages each month. And she also, I think, let me just look at my printout here. Yes, she does. She has a Facebook group. So if you wanted to join her specialist Facebook colouring group, this is her here. Sassy Colouring Pages for the Art of Saskia Cook. Okay, so if you wanted to join her colouring group. And like I say, she's quite a prolific artist. I think this is the 13th book. And you can see that the designs are, it is what it says on the cover. It's Fanciful Fantasies. So there are kind of a variety. There are designs where there's a lot of detail. For instance, the merman and the mermaid, quite a lot of detail on there. And then and again on here, on the beautiful Sphinx cat. And then there's sort of other ones where, see, that's the one that we're going to be doing today on PDF. There's other ones where if you don't like masses and masses of detail, see on here there's quite a bit of space where you can do your own feathering or your own creases or your own kind of texture on the material of her dress. So there's kind of a range of designs for that suits everybody's taste, I think. See here, so this one's quite a good one if you don't like massive amount of detail. Imagine all of the folds and the shadows that you could put on the texture of the skirt here. Okay, so that's just a little bit about the book. What does it say on the back? Let's see. Fanciful Fantasy is an adult colouring book by Sassy Colouring. In this book is 40 new hand-drawn images from mermaid to maidens and from fairies to fauns. And with over 40 bonus pages, you are sure to find an image for your every mood. Let yourself drift into a world of whimsy and wonder. Okay? So that's what we're going to be working from. Got a little pin stuck to that. Put that away. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be working from. And like I say, that's the design that I've picked here, which is a beautiful dragon. Now the lovely thing about these is, if I just turn, actually no, I need to show you in the book because that's a printer. If I just show you, all of these beautiful drawings have a name. So can you see? This one's called Piggyback. Can you see? I just move that up slightly. Can you see on the back of all of these pages she's given all of these individual designs a particular name, which is quite nice. And I think that's obviously so you can find them quite easily on Etsy when you buy them individually. So this one is actually called He's So Fuzzy, and you can see the beautiful little fuzzy monster down here. So what I've done so far is, and what I'll do is in the tutorial details, I will put in all of the paint colours and all of the, this is Prismacolor. So I will put in all of the paint colours that I've used, I'll list them all, and I'll list all of the pencils used for everything else. I'm not going to do a map for you, but I will list them. You can see the pencils that I've got out here for the tree bark. So I'll go through those in a moment. Just want to take 1 second to get you to look at these paints. Look at those beautiful mica metallic paints, and I've only just discovered them recently. Can you see that? And they're beautiful if you're like kind of using PDFs, because clearly they take really, really well on card. I just want to tell you a quick word about these paints. So these paints, you can see them here. They are artisan, they are all individually handmade. They're a very, very, very clever lady, and you'll have seen me do a tutorial with her paints very recently. So it's KJDesignByKaren at etsy.com. You can buy them separately, you can buy them in sets, you can buy 1, you can buy 10. No minimum or maximum order. So don't feel like you would have to buy a set if you just wanted to try one of them. Karen will put you one in the post. What you need to do is, if you want to search for her paints, can you see the KJ Design by Karen? You need to put that into Etsy exactly with no spaces and the right capital letters. And you will be able to see, I think there's 90 colours to choose from. So there's plenty to have a look at in terms of colours. So what I've done is on this beautiful Sassy Colouring page, I'll just move these out of the way. What I've done is on this beautiful Sassy Colouring page, you can see I've got a mix of Prismacolor and paint, and I think it works really well. And what I wanted to show you is, I'm just going to move these paints out the way, and I'm just going to quickly show you something from Ivy. Going back to the focus of the tutorial, which is the tree bark, I just wanted to show you a couple of designs where I've used it. I've got them marked. It's not him. It's not him. So this one. So what we're going to be recreating is the bark effect that you can see here. If you can see both of those double pages. So can you see the bark effect here? That's what we're going to be recreating today. Okay. So that's clearly out of my Joanna Basford Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. Now this technique I've adapted for tree bark, but it originally started life as me trying to do realistic water. So it's the same technique that you can use for the sea. You can use it for various things, but I've used it for water and for tree bark. Okay, so it's got various applications. So we'll just put Ivy to one side and go back to I'm So Fuzzy. Here we are. Right, let's get down to brass tacks. So the Prismacolors that I've got out from dark to light, let me just place this so you can see it again properly. So I have dark umber, which is PC 947. I have dark brown, which is 946. I have chocolate, which is 1082. I have sienna brown, which is 945. I have burnt ochre, sorry, which is 943. I have pumpkin orange, which is 1032. I have mineral orange, which is 1033. I have goldenrod, which is 1034, and I have yellow ochre, which is 942. Okay, now they're all pretty sharp, So I'm just going to put the pencils to one side, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to be moving my paper like that as I go along. Okay, so we're going to start with the darkest. We're going to start with dark umber, and I am just going to quickly double check that I've got these in the right order. Yes, I have. So the dark umber is the darkest. Now what we're going to do is just take 1 second to look at this beautiful design that Saskia has done. Can you see she's put in the beautiful swirls of the tree bark? So what we're going to do is we're going to follow those so that our overall effect will be kind of like a beautiful, you'll see the the unctuousness of the wood, so you'll see how it kind of just ripples and rolls, okay? And that'll give us some texture. So we're going to follow these patterns. So this is just random, absolutely random. So I've got my dark umber and I'm going to play. And I'm going to follow the lines that Saskia's given us, okay? So you'll get that flow of the tree bark. Now I'm pressing quite firmly, okay? So I just want to lay down. And you can see I'm not following Saskia's lines exactly. I'm adding little kind of random patterns, but always following the flow of that wood, of the tree bark. Okay. And what's nice about this is, if you have a go at this, when you come to do this, your lines will be random, they'll be different to mine. Somebody else's will be different again. So every single one of these that people do will be absolutely their own. And like I say, you'll recognise this technique if you've seen me do the tutorial for water, but it really does translate very nicely to tree bark. So I thought it was worth, on this gorgeous dragon page from Fanciful Fantasies, I just thought it was worth a visit to the brown colours, to the brown palette for the same technique. So like I say, I'm just putting in stuff at random with my darkest colour. And I'm pressing firmly. And you don't want your pencils mega sharp for this, because you want quite nice chunky lines. And you can place them at random, and the shapes can be any shape that you want. Just follow the guidelines that Saskia has laid down. Okay. And already you can see you see the flow? How nice that is already. So we'll just take it up into the leaves. And as I say, these mixed media pages I just really enjoy because Karen's paints are absolutely gorgeous. I'll put the link actually, because I think the last tutorial that I did was a tutorial on how to blend them. And you can see I've blended some of the tree leaf colours. Look at that, how gorgeous is that? So I'll put the link to that tutorial in there. And I know that since I released that, Karen has been very busy because a lot of you have wanted to try them. So I hope that for those of you who have bought them, that tutorial's been really useful. Okay, so we're not layering at all. We're not layering at all. I'm going to put that dark umber to one side now. That can go back in my box. Okay, so I'm going to go to my dark brown. And basically all we're going to do here and there, not everywhere, but here and there, we're going to follow this pattern that we've just laid down. Okay, and this will be the same for every single colour of that palette that I've got out. And it'll take us probably about 15-20 minutes. So for the area that you're doing, can you imagine if you were trying to layer and do really professional tree bark, which by all means, if you do that, hats off to you, because it's quite complicated. But this, for those of you who don't particularly want a huge challenge but want some really nice effects, you know me, I'll try to make things easy for you and doable. And I think it's quite nice that it just means that everyone can have a go. You don't have to be Van Gogh. And you don't necessarily have to be an expert colourist either to do this. So I'm just going over the dark umber slightly. As I say, not everywhere. Not everywhere. So I've got my dark brown and I'm just following these patterns. So I'm trying to keep the sinews going. And again, I press a medium, no, I'm not pressing medium firm, I'm pressing firmly. Pressing firmly. So I've had a lot of fun prepping this piece, as you can see, to get it ready for the tutorial. A lot of fun with the paints, a lot of fun with the design. I mean, he's just great, isn't he? And he is. And I couldn't resist blinging up his horns with the paint. Couldn't resist blinging up his horns. And actually, I should say that these blended colours here, the purple and the green that you see, those are the exact two colours that I use on the blending tutorial for Karen's paints. And Saskia actually saw the Joanna Basford Hummingbird page and got in touch to say, I would absolutely love to see one of my gorgeous designs with Karen's paints on, because I think they're just perfect for that media, and she's right. They really are. Following the pattern. And what we'll do is we will use more of the brown colours than we will of the oranges and the ochres. So you can see I'm filling up quite a lot of the space with these browns. But I'm not going around every single one. I'm just going around maybe 2/3 of them. And it doesn't matter if you go over them. It doesn't matter if you go to the side of them. Like I say, just follow the pattern that Saskia has indicated, and then play. Play to your heart's content. And you can see how quick it is. And it doesn't have to be accurate. It can be rough and ready, because tree bark is rough and ready. Tree bark ain't neat. Tree bark has texture and it has form. Okay, so I'm going to put my dark brown away. I've got my chocolate. Again, I'm not going to... Let me start actually, so I know which bits I've done. Let me get a bit organised, so I'm not all over the place. Again, firm pressure. Follow that sinuous pattern. It's almost like speed colouring, but live time. And I think the quicker you go, the better. The less you think about it, the better. Just let your hand and your wrist flow. Because you don't want to be too accurate. That's the beauty about this. It's easy. It's meant to be easy, so that everybody can have a go. And this is the beauty about the PDF, I think, because you can print it out on card, which means it'll take the paints a tiny bit better, but you can use these paints on normal colouring book paper, as long as you don't soak the page. But the beauty about the PDF is you have the ability to twist and turn this to suit your wrist. Now can you see Mr. Fuzzy here? So I've got brown at the top of his fuzzy head. So what I'm going to do is, just so that it stands out, you know, so that he's not melting into the tree, what I'm going to do is I've purposely left this kind of white, because what I'm going to do is I'll use the yellow ochre colours next to his head so that he doesn't that brown of his fuzz on his head doesn't melt into the tree. You'll see he'll stand out, if you know what I mean. Do I want chocolate anywhere else? And you'll see that as we gradually build this up, the colours just look amazing. Okay, I'm going to go to sienna brown. You still in shot? Now you are. So again, don't go over or around everything. Just 2/3 of it, and follow the pattern. Follow the pattern. And just be careful when you get to the edges. So I've actually been keeping Saskia up to date with how this this piece has been coming on, because I knew that we were going to do a tutorial on the tree, and I'm so pleased to say that she's thrilled with it. And she even asked me if she could buy this piece when it's finished, and I told her not to be silly. So she will be getting this as a gift in the post. And I really hope that you try some of her lovely designs, because they're super cute. And like I say, you get 40 designs, 2 times 40 designs in that book. So it's really good value. But if you just want to try a few, pop over to Etsy, search for Saskia Cook, SASKJA, and her Etsy designs will pop straight up. And I think I'm not sure what Saskia's PDF prices are, but they're usually individual PDFs are usually about £2 or £3. So you're not going to break the bank. I don't stop to think about it too long. Just being careful around Mrs. Dragon. Miss Dragon, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to put the sienna brown down. I'm going to go to burnt ochre. You can see how this is just gradually getting lighter and lighter. And by following the pattern, you can see that we are starting to create the sinews of that bark very, very easily, with no layering whatsoever. No complicated layering here. And you'll start to gradually fill in little tiny bits. And like I say, I have got a tutorial on this for water, which you'll have seen, or might have seen. So I'll put the link to that in this tutorial as well, So you'll have the water palette, and the technique is exactly the same. And I've actually toyed with the idea of using it for fire, and I'm sure that you can come up with some other uses for it as well, and if you do, I'd love to see them. Lava, maybe? Can't recall any lava in Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, but that doesn't mean to say we can't create some. And because these are Prismacolors and they're wax based, you really don't have to think about their blending qualities, they just do it for you. Okay, where does that leave us? Just gone over, I have indeed. Just gone over that paint very slightly. Got my Tombow mono eraser. Just making sure it's clean, and I've just got onto this paint here. So just push that off. There we go. Okay, pumpkin orange. Not going to do too much of the orange colours, or this particular orange colour, because it's quite a bright orange colour, and there's not a huge amount of kind of bright orange in tree bark. So we're just going to put the odd highlight here and there. The gaps that are left will mostly be the yellow ochres. Being careful around his fuzz. And can you see those beautiful sinuous lines starting to come out now? How's that looking? How does that look? Looking quite good. If I can zoom you in, can you see how we're getting that beautiful sinuous effect? Right, where are we? We are mineral orange. So again, I'm not going to put too much of this down. Just here and there. And then the last two colours that I've got are goldenrod and yellow ochre. So this is the point where you need to take a little bit more care. Just going up against some of the edges. And it's not a massive disaster if you do, you know, kind of up here, accidentally go over onto some of these paints, because you can actually colour over Karen's paints. Which means you can also lift the colour off, just gently with an eraser. And like I say, I think it's well worth going onto Amazon and having a look at Sasky's books, because there's an awful lot to choose from. Something for everybody. Including the kids. Right. Okay, just about there. What have we got? We have goldenrod. See how nice that looks when you put that goldenrod in? Just picks up the highlights. And you can see how quickly I'm working. My brain's not really struggling. I'm not really thinking too hard about what I'm doing. I'm just following that initial pattern that we laid down in the dark umber. And I'm just having fun. Very fast freehand colouring. Like I say, just don't think about it too much. I mean, I'm working fast for the video, but with this particular technique, if I was probably colouring this, no, without you seeing it, I would be definitely colouring it this speedily. I'll leave some very last gaps for that yellow ochre. Yellow ochre highlights. Don't be afraid to pick up, you know, some of the other colours, because these are Prismacolors. They will just melt into one another. You don't really, truly don't have to be massively careful. It's all about having fun. Right, I think we're just about there. Let's finish those very last bits off with our yellow ochre. And then I'll zoom you in. So like I say, I will list all of the colours, so all of the colours you see here for the dragon, the paints and the Prismacolors, I'll list them in the tutorial, just so that if you wanted to have a go with these palettes, then you can. And thank you very much to Saskia for getting in touch, because this is ever such a cute book and I love this design. And thank you also to Karen for these divine paints. And if you haven't tried them already, you're missing a trick. If you like metallics and you like watercolours, you really need these on your list for Santa. How's that? Have we missed anything? Can you spot anything? Okay, so just going to clean up that edge, just where there's pencil dust on it. How does that look? How does that look? Pretty pleased with that. Zoom you in. You see that beautiful texture on that tree bark? And I think you'll agree it's really, really simple, but really, really effective. Alrighty guys, thanks for listening in. As usual, any questions, just drop me a line on a private message, on iMessage, or as I say, get in touch on the YouTube channel. Leave me a note, and I really hope that you give this a go. There we go. I'm so fuzzy. Bye for now, guys.